So we watched 4 new horror movies over the last, I don't know, week. And we're supposed to have seen a 5th today, but we didn't get it. And we'll be seeing it tomorrow. That's okay. But for now, let's talk about Offseason. We'll make that the first one because that's the one we liked the most.
Yes.
And, but I will say, I didn't love anything we watched. This was the best of the bunch for me, as well as you.
I also thought it was the best of the bunch, as you say.
Now, this is a Mickey Keating film, and I think I've seen every movie he's made, and he definitely has a specific style. And I would say my favorite movie of his is Darling. But I did quite like this. I feel like his films are style over substance, but that there's trying to be this substance there that just feels like it's half-baked. Like I feel like the style is always pretty heavy, and whether you like that or not, of course that's always up to the viewer. But that the stories that he goes for, they always seem like there's some deeper meaning to them or something poetic or something going on there. And I never feel like they fully hit, and that I'm kind of leaving it feeling like, that was a cool concept.
Sure.
And I like the way that it was executed, atmospherically.
Yeah.
But as far as like a story goes, it does allow it usually stays fairly vague in how it's presented, and you're piecing it together, and in the end you're kind of trying to figure out like what happened, which is fine because I do like movies like that. But I just feel like there's not enough there to kind of piece together enough.
Yeah, I felt that way about this movie. I don't know if I've seen any other films that he's done.
I don't think you have.
But with this movie, like, I agree. It felt like it was like a really cool concept, but I would have liked a deeper story.
I feel like the setting is what's cool. The setting
was amazing.
Right?
That's like, yeah, definitely was one of my favorite parts.
One thing we haven't talked about, just because I just want to get it out of the way, is what this is even about. The IMDb thing is, after receiving a mysterious letter, a woman travels to a desolate island town and soon becomes trapped in a nightmare. Yeah, I mean, she goes there with her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. They kind of have a interesting, rocky relationship. They don't seem like they're 100% with one another. And as far as their characters go, they're not like uber likable, but they're not like someone I dislike either.
Sure. I'm
kind of in the middle on them throughout the movie. I'm like, yeah, they're people.
Yeah, I wouldn't
say... They're fine.
Sure. Yeah, I felt like this film has a really nightmare quality to it that we both loved.
Yes.
And I think one of the reasons that I also felt that it was nightmarish is that the characters aren't super deep either. Like, they felt, I understood the motivation, like I knew why they were going to the island and, what was happening, and all of that made sense. But aside from that, it was like not a whole lot else. She's shedding.
Yes. Yeah, basically this is a movie, you're coming for the atmosphere, right?
100%.
You're not staying for the plot as much, even though I do feel like it's trying to land something with the plot. I just never felt engaged in the plot. I was always engaged in the atmosphere.
Yes.
Right? So it does play out like a nightmare. Nothing really makes like perfect logical sense. Everything is like reality adjacent. The way people act, the way things look, everything just feels off, but in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the selling point for the film. Jocelyn Donahue, who plays the main character, who of course I love from House of the Devil, and she's even in Doctor Sleep, and she's been in some cool roles. You know, I love her, and I just it's a story that, or it's a movie that you're really engaged in, you know, what's going on the screen, and not so much on what's going on in the story, right? in the screen, right?
That's a good way to put it.
It's just like, oh, this is so cool, and I feel like I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Watching it. But I mean, I guess maybe like dreams, it's incoherent and kind of half baked, and makes you wake up and go, what the fuck did that mean, right?
Like you have some of the threads there, but not all of them to piece the whole
thing together. I don't think that's what they were going for. Personally, I feel like they were going for something that was supposed to be more hard hitting with a message. And I was like, maybe I'd need to watch it again. But it's not something I would not watch again.
No, I would watch it again. I mean, honestly, like we keep saying, the atmosphere alone, it was just really perfect. Yeah. And it has this really cool kind of like cosmic horror, Lovecraftian vibe to it that I always love seeing in films. And I feel like there's definitely cosmic horror out there, of course, but I always want more of it. Because it's unsettling, and it's like, you know, you can't, there's nothing you can do to fight against it.
My script that I wrote, the bridge one, this is how I would want it.
Oh, yeah. Done. That's what I was thinking when we were watching this, yeah. Yeah. It's very, like, kind of Silent Hill. Yes. Sort of, like, foggy, misty. Things are really unclear. People are very...
Ocean Town.
Yeah, Ocean Town. People are really bizarre and don't behave the way you would ever expect them to behave for good reason. But, yeah. Great vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I keep just kind of reiterating this, but I didn't connect with any of the characters or any of the plot much.
I didn't either.
That's a pretty big negative, right? I mean, a film can only be so atmospheric. But that's just it. If you watch other Mickey Keating films, I've just noticed that trend with him, whether it's Psychopaths or Darling or, you know, whatever. He's just very heavy on the style, and he has something he wants to say, and I feel like it's not being conveyed to me. Right? And that's fine. And his films usually are really negatively rated. Carnage Park. He did the first fucking Woman movie, didn't he? Or did he do... He did that, and he did Pod, I remember that, but he did, no, Ritual. I thought he was involved. I'm thinking of Lucky McKee, probably. But anyway, yeah, if you're really into atmospheric, slower burn, dreamlike films that feel like nightmares, definitely check this one out. It's on Shudder. It's good for that. I think we said that enough. I feel like this could have been like 1 minute long.
Dream-like.
Because I feel like I've just repeated myself 6 times.
But that's
I don't know what else to say.
I don't really know what else to say either. I mean, like, it's...
It also has Joe Swanberg in it, and Richard Brake, Melora Walters, who I know from the Paul Thomas Anderson movies, like Boogie Nights and Magnolia. It has Jeremy Gardner in it, who is from The Battery and After Midnight, which are both really cool independent films. He plays like this fisherman guy. And those are all the faces I wrote. Oh, Larry Fesseden's in this? Really? I don't even remember seeing him. That's weird. He is? Who is he? Grierson? I don't even remember. Did I see him? Fuck, I don't even remember. Anyway, but there's some cool people who pop up, you know, horror alums and whatnot. But that's it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's it.
So
that's it.
Let us know if you've watched it or if you watch it. It's on Shudder. Shudder. With 3 of these 4 movies were Shudder originals. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Bye.